How to get rich as a real estate agent. Did you know that only 18% of real estate agents make over $100,000 per year? Did you know that less than 1% of real estate agents make $1 million a year? Well, as a licensed real estate agent that has made and makes over $1 million a year, I want to tell you it is possible, but most people just do not know how or what to do. It is very possible. I'm going to show you all of the steps. It's nowhere near as hard as you think. I'm going to tell you all of it. Let's go. I'm going to share with you the top 3 ways to actually make $1 million as a real estate agent. And I can promise you it's probably nothing that is taught in real estate school. I'm going to teach you how to use your real estate license to make multiple streams of income year after year after year. And last but not least, even if you don't have a real estate license, I'm going to teach you how to leverage someone else's real estate license so that you can start making money now even faster. So when we're talking about real estate, we have real estate agents, okay? So when we're talking about just normal traditional real estate where people want to buy or sell a home, real estate agents are the person that represents either the buyer or the seller. Now, usually if we're talking about real estate agents, most people know real estate agents as the people that represent the seller because they find those properties, the person puts the sign in front of it, they put the for sale sign, the real estate agent will put the property in what we call MLS or the multiple listing services, and that is where you find most of the properties that are available for sale, okay? So most real estate agents, they go to school, they learn how to work with buyers or sellers. And most of them really learn how to work with sellers, how to read the titles, how to do listings, and get people that want to sell their property to sell their property. On the other hand, there are real estate agents that represent buyers, people that want to buy a home but need help negotiating the price or getting into those properties. Like I said, real estate agents, they put lock boxes on them and only other real estate agents can get the keys. They're called super keys to open them up. So real estate agents either usually represent the buyer or the seller in transactions. And what they do is they represent them and they get a commission. So that's how the normal real estate agent business works. And when you go to real estate agent school, they don't really teach you necessarily how to make a lot of money. They teach you how to represent either buyers or sellers, how to look at titles, how to understand, real estate in some of the terms, if there's easements or encroachments or, I won't get into all that technical stuff, but they teach you a lot of technical information about real estate and how to represent buyers or sellers. Now, again, when you sell a property as a real estate agent, you get a commission. If you represent the buyer or the seller, usually it's the seller of the property that has set aside usually 6% of the sales price. So if we're talking about a $100,000 house, I'm just going to use round numbers, $6,000, 6% is usually set aside for the commission. Usually the buyer's agent gets $3,000 and then the seller's agent gets $3,000. They basically split the commission 3%, for a total of 6%. So this is the norm. I'm just giving you a general outline of how it usually works, but I'm going to talk about how you really make money because like I said, $3,000 for you, $3,000 for me, that's cool, but that's not really how you get rich as a real estate agent. So let's get to that part. So let me quickly tell you my story because I started off as a normal real estate agent. I actually got my license in 2006. I was living in Georgia at the time and I was working full time and I wanted to just get my license because I was doing a few little fix and flips on the side and it was dabbling in real estate. Like I said, I basically lost everything in 2009, so don't even worry about what I did in 2006. But I learned real estate, got my license, and really just kind of dabbled in it and did it part-time. I never made a lot of money, but I did get my commissions and get a few sales, and it was very fine for me. But after I lost everything in 2009 and I ended up in my parents' basement bankrupt with no rental properties and lost everything because of the crash and I didn't know what I was doing and real estate school did not teach me and being a real estate agent did not help me. I had to kind of start over and learn real estate investing. So I learned real estate investing. I really learned how you make money as a real estate investor, and it's really not as an agent. You really need to own properties, start getting the properties at a low price and then selling them at a higher price. You need to get some rental properties in there. You need to learn about forced appreciation. In other words, fixing and flipping properties. That is the stuff that my coach taught me in real estate. And that's when I really started to make money in real estate, when I got away from being an agent and focused on being an investor. Now, I've always kept my real estate license. In fact, I've actually gotten 2 more. When I moved to Texas, I got my Texas real estate license. And now that I'm in Florida, I also have my Florida Texas license. I'm in my Florida license. And then when I was in Virginia, I was getting my Virginia license. So long story short, I now to the point do get my real estate license because I do so much in real estate that it offers me so much opportunity to see expired listings and things like that. But as a real estate agent, just driving people around in your car, trying to help them find a house or begging sellers to let you list their property and get a commission is definitely not going to get you rich. You'll pick up some commission checks, but you also have to split those commission checks with your broker. Okay, so as a real estate agent, you are essentially a contractor of your real estate broker, you know, the RE/MAXs and the Keller Williams and the Century 21s that we see in the eXp Realties. They are the real estate brokers, and the agents are salespeople that work under them, and they split their commission with the broker. So even that example where I gave you, where you sold a house that cost $100,000 and the commission was $6,000, and I said the buyer got $3,000 and the seller's agent got $3,000. Well, not quite. The agents did not get that money, their brokers did. Okay, and then the broker would give the agent a cut of that. So using that example that I gave, where we're talking about a $3,000 commission, the real estate agent probably only saw maybe $1,600 of it because they gave the other $1,400 to their broker. You have to split the commission with your broker. So long story short, there's a lot of people eating off you as a real estate agent, and that's why it becomes very difficult to make a lot of money. But I'm not going to end there. Let me tell you the real secret sauce, because that's why you're watching. So when you go to school to be a real estate agent, they always teach you that if you want to make more money, you usually are going to need more clients. You need more sellers, you need more buyers, or you need higher priced homes. Those are like the 3 main ways that they teach you in real estate school to increase your income. And quite frankly, that's true. As a traditional real estate agent, if you want to make more money, you need to find more sellers, you need to find more buyers, or you need to sell higher priced homes so that you get a bigger commission. Because in the example, if you sell a house that's $100,000, 6% is only $6,000 split between all these people. But if you sold a house that was $1 million, we would be talking about what, like $60,000, okay? And then you would split 30,000. So the numbers would be so much bigger if you were selling a higher priced home. But this is all child's play, guys. I'm not telling you to do any of that. If you want to be a traditional real estate agent and chase more sellers and chase more buyers, fine, go ahead. But let me tell you what I did to leave my corporate job and what I really use my license for, and why I can really tell you I'm a $1 million real estate agent. So here's the 3 steps of what I did as a real estate agent and what I really used my license for to make a ton of money. Number 1, I did fix and flips, okay? So one of the ways that I told you earlier that you make money in real estate is through appreciation, okay? So homes go up in value over time. That's just a standard thing, standard economics. You don't need 2 master's degrees to know that, okay? But what we do with fix and flip is a concept called forced appreciation, where you fix the property up, you renovate it, and then you sell it for a higher price. You forced the appreciation, okay? And what I did with my license and how I was able to make more money with this, because the true way to make a lot of money in a fix and flip is to buy properties at a low value, fix them up, and then sell them at a higher value. And what I use my real estate license for, and how I was able to get a ton of leads to do fix and flips and made a ton of money, was I was calling on expired listings. Okay. Now this is a big secret, because I probably oh my God, my broker back then would have killed me if I'm telling you guys this. The expired listings, they tell you those are people that tried to list their home and they were not able to sell them. So your your real estate broker, again, the RE/MAXs and the Keller Williams, the owners of those big brokers, they tell all the real estate agents to call on the expired listings and try to get those people to relist with the new company. Now, that's cool. It's a great way to get some listings. But again, you're not going to get rich like that, and you're not going to walk away with $100,000 checks. Okay. I've literally flipped houses that were like, you know, $150,000 and stuff like that. And I got 60 grand in my pocket. So this is not the way that you want to do it, is not to focus on finding more clients and getting more listings. I use those expired listings and look through them, and I comb through some of the MLS, and I use my license to find properties that were not in good condition and find motivated sellers that were not able to sell their properties. I was able to partner with those people, use my business lines of credit and things like that to fix the properties up and then sell the property. And either I got all of the profits or I split it with the seller. Okay. I know I said a lot there. You're probably going to have to actually rewind that, but that is what I did. And that is the easiest way to start fixing and flipping. You don't need a lot of money to do it. Like I said, these were people that already had properties. They already raised their hand and said that they wanted to sell it. And I would comb through those expired listings, find properties that were not in good condition. That's probably why they didn't sell. And then I would fix and flip those properties and start picking up checks. I think the first fix and flip I did, I split, and I think it was like $42,000. And then I took those profits and I started getting rental properties. The end. Okay, guys, the end. Simple. Number one, I did fix and flips using expired listings. That is it. That simple. That one thing got me a bunch of cash, and I started making money. The second big money maker thing that I do with my real estate license, like I said, I did the fix and flips. Then I started fixing and flipping and turning those into rental properties. So I started fixing and flipping properties, and I realized that I could fix and flip the properties to put a tenant in them. So instead of fixing the properties up to this level where I was going to sell the property and put the granite countertops and the appliances and stainless steel and all those other things, I started fixing the properties up to a level to have a tenant. And then I created rental properties. And then once I had my rental properties, I had enough of them. I was able to do that. I fixed and flipped some of them. Then some of them I kept and put rental properties in. And then I would either keep the rental property for cash flow, or I would sell the property with the tenant in it. Simple. Use my real estate license to do that. Super simple. And then as a real estate agent, I was able to screen tenants pretty easily, because as a real estate agent, they do give you access to screen tenants, and it's part of the fees that you pay. So I'm easily able to get tenants and make sure that they're qualified and we're able to pay. And then last but not least, the third and final thing that I did to make so much more money, like I said, fix and flip was one, then two was the rental properties, and then third was coaching and mentoring. So once I had all of this information, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I literally have done this stuff. I just started teaching a few people. Again, you don't have to have this big program where you teach everyone. You can make a course, you can write books, you can teach what you know. And that has made me so much money. I have books, I have a podcast, I have YouTube, I have students. I have so much knowledge from doing it. Okay, from learning it. I did go to real estate school and I did learn how to do real estate, and then I did it, and now I teach it. And that has catapulted me to the millions and millions of dollars, and where I at least make $1 million per year just from real estate. And that's how you can do it. And that's what smart real estate agents do. So if you would like a full training, I have given you guys so much information here, I know, but I have a full training that I created where I will teach you all of this and more. Go to noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreetraining.com. I have a completely free training where I'm teaching you, the exact formula for investing in real estate, making big profits without losing money, completely free. Go ahead and check it out so you can get all of this information. It was a little bit too long for me to put here on this platform, but I just wanted to make sure that you had it and you get all the information that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.